I find goal setting to be one of the best ways to harness the power that is often latent within us. So let me share with my story first. When I quit my corporate job, which was a very structured environment, you had goals, you had bosses, you knew what you were going to do on a daily basis. But once I started Yoganama, that structure was gone, those goals were gone, and every day I was like, oh my God, there is so much to do. There is a phase of learning. I want to get really good at everything really fast so I can start, monetizing it, which I still haven't done. But anyway, so that phase was very exhausting for me and my family members because I never had any time. So this is what my husband did. He said, let's get a pen and paper. And he made me write down every activity that I wanted to do. And he said, mark out how much time you need in a day to focus on each of these. As I made that chart, I realized I need about 28 hours in a day to achieve whatever I wanted to. No wonder I was exhausted and really drained all the time. And that is when I realized that I have to say no to a few things. I cannot continue like this. And that was my first lesson in entrepreneurship. I had to remove some things which I was really passionate about to be able to focus on other things that I was also really passionate about. So you have to learn to say no to yourself before you say no to others. For instance, in your fitness routine, maybe you want to really get good at strength training. It will come at the expense of cardio. If you want to be really good at cardio, it may come at the expense of yoga. So it is important to know what you are going to say no to, which is exactly what I had to do when I started my entrepreneurial journey. You cannot do everything, and that is the fundamental mistake that people make when they're setting out goals. Everything gets into it. No, limit it. Understand how much capacity you have, and when you're starting out, you may make mistakes. That's absolutely fine. We learn over the years of setting goals, your understanding of yourself becomes so rock solid. That self-awareness is so powerful. I tell you, forget if you don't achieve any goal. If you just do goal setting for a few periods of time, that itself is immensely rewarding in our personal growth and journey. Now, the method I use to set goals is very simple, very popular. It's called the SMART method, which is goals should be specific, for S, M, measurable, A, achievable, R, relevant, and T, time bound. So for instance, when I was learning the Yoga Sutras, I was having a lot of trouble, and I realized that I have to actually memorize them in order to be able to cross-reference them in my mind rather than having to continually flip through reference books. So this is what I did. I decided that 7 sutras a day was doable. So I would memorize 7 sutras a day, write them 7 times, and repeat them consecutively in my head 7 times as well. 7 was a big number that I thought was very, very doable. It used to take me in total 30 minutes. It was specific, exactly what I was going to do, 7 sutras, 7 times. It was measurable, there was a count to it. It was achievable, I could do it. I did not pick 21 sutras a day because it wouldn't happen. R, it was relevant to my journey. I was a new yoga teacher. I wanted to understand the sutras by the back of my hand. It was time bound. I knew exactly how many days it would take me. So after that, every year I prioritized only one subject matter that I would work on. So after Yoga Sutras, next year I spent on studying Ayurveda, the year after that on corrective exercise, and so on. And last year, this year, I decided to focus on diabetes prevention. So this way you actually develop a bigger picture of life as well. You're not living from day to day, week to week basis. You're able to look at your life on an annual basis. You're able to defer your gratification to a later point in time. You're not looking for immediate results. So thinking long term is yet another benefit. I hope this was useful for you, and I will try and share more about goal setting if that is of interest.